Solar power.
By Casey Lamb and Marissa Lawrence.
Richard A. Muller was a physicist who used his understanding of physics to relate to important topics of the time. There were many topics that he covered, one being global warming. In his book, he discussed global warming and the physics involved with it.
Global warming is the steep temperature rise that occurs over years in the Earth's climate. Only in more recent years have people started to hear more about global warming and have started exaggerating its effects. Over the past 50 years, the average temperature has gone up 2 degrees Fahrenheit. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has gone up 36% in the past 100 years. This is due to the amount of fossil fuels we are burning today.
The excess of carbon dioxide results in the greenhouse effect. The sun's rays hit the Earth, 60% are absorbed, the other 40% are reflected off the Earth, then some of those rays are reflected off the Earth, get trapped in the atmosphere due to the excess of carbon dioxide. Then ultimately, this causes the Earth to heat up.
The first myth about global warming is that carbon dioxide is a pollutant. Actually, carbon dioxide, a colorless, odorless gas, is a part of the cycle of life. We all exhale it with every breath, and plants inhale it. Higher carbon dioxide levels improve plant growth and productivity. There has been a substantial increase in the productivity of the world's crops and forests due to the increased carbon dioxide concentrations, and it helps to meet the needs of the growing human population.
But other things coming out of smokestacks and car exhausts are pollutants. Examples are sulfur dioxide, which returns to us as sulfuric acid in rain and soot, particles of carbon that blacken the landscape and get into our lungs.
Another myth of global warming is that the Earth's poles are warming, polar ice caps are breaking up and melting, and the sea level is rising.
In reality, the Earth is different depending on where you are in the world. The Western Arctic may be getting somewhat warmer due to cyclic events in the Pacific Ocean, but the Eastern Antarctic and Greenland are getting colder, while the Palmer Peninsula of Antarctica is getting warmer, while the main Antarctic continent is actually cooling. Ice thicknesses are increasing both in Greenland and Antarctica.
There are many ways to prevent global warming. Generally, it's important for humans to try and use less fuel and find alternative ways to use energy. An important method is with solar power.
Solar energy has been used by humans for thousands of years. For example, ancient cultures used energy from the sun to keep warm by starting fires with it. Buildings were designed so that walls and floors collected solar heat during the day that was released at night to keep them warm.
The energy of the sun is converted into heat energy. This is justified by the law of conservation of energy, which is, energy can only change from one form to another, and energy cannot be created or destroyed.
One example of use of solar heat energy is for water heating systems. A solar panel is used to collect heat. The heat is transferred to pipes inside the solar panel, and water is heated as it passes through the pipes. The hot water heated by the sun can then be used for showering, cleaning, or heating your home.
There are solar thermal plants where the energy of the sun is converted to thermal energy. When the sun's rays hit the solar panels, the mirrored surface reflects the sunlight onto a receiver that heats up the water. The sunlight is absorbed to create heat. This heat heats the water at the plant, then the water turns to steam.
The steam is piped to an on-site turbine generator to produce electricity, which is then transmitted over power lines.
On cloudy days, the plant has a natural gas boiler. The plant can burn natural gas to heat the water, creating steam to generate electricity, meaning it is still very feasible because it is still a very effective alternate use of energy, without the worries of what would happen when it is not sunny.
With solar cells, the energy of the sun is converted into electrical energy. When the sun's rays hit the solar panels, the light is converted into direct current electricity. This electricity then flows out of the panels and is converted into alternating current. The electricity then travels through the transformers and is delivered to your home.
Silicon is like an electrical insulator, making it an important part in solar cells. Sunlight is composed of photons, which radiate from the sun. As these hit the silicon atoms of the solar cell, they transfer their energy to lose electrons. The solar cell then needs to make these electrons into an electric current. This involves creating an electrical imbalance within the cell, which acts a bit like a downslope, so the electrons will flow in the same direction. As the photons move the electrons off the silicon atoms, this field drives them along, providing the electric current to power anything, like pizza ovens. We are going to perform a solar-powered pizza oven experiment. In this experiment, we used a pizza box, aluminum foil, plastic wrap, and inside the box we used black construction paper and newspaper. In this experiment, we are trying to find if the sun's rays will effectively toast a piece of bread in our solar-powered oven. Our oven is supposed to act like a solar thermal plant.
So the first thing we did while making the box is we cut out a flap in the lid, and then we taped aluminum foil, which is used to reflect the maximum amount of the sun's rays into the box, and then we taped 2 pieces of plastic wrap, and plastic wrap is really great for it because it allows the sun's rays to go through it, and it is an insulator for the hot air to stay inside the pizza box. And then we also put newspaper around the edges, and that just acted as an extra insulator. And then the black construction paper was used to absorb all the sun's rays, and we used black because it absorbs the red, blue, and green rays from the sun.
We put in a piece of bread and left it outside in the sun for 3 hours. We found that the bread was not toasted, but it felt a lot hotter. We came to the conclusion that the pizza box oven will only keep things warm, but will not cook things. This would not be feasible because it only works on sunny days, but it would be good for keeping hamburgers warm at a cookout.
The sun provides a lot of energy for the Earth. 1 square meter of a solar cell can generate enough energy to power an 100-watt light bulb. The efficiency of solar energy depends on the weather, position of the sun, time of day, and pollution in the air. You're not always going to have a really sunny day to collect a lot of solar power. For a home with solar cells, on a sunny day, the cells will collect 1,600 kilowatt hours a year. On cloudy days, only 750.
They aren't feasible because solar cells cost thousands of dollars to install, so many people don't have the option of getting them. However, they are feasible because they will power a building when there is a power outage. Also, people will save money in the long term if they have solar cells because it's a one-time payment. In addition, for homes and small buildings, the grid-tied system would be used. This means that it is connected to local power lines. When your power demand is high, some of your electric needs are met with solar panels, and some from your local electric company. When electric demand is low, all of your home's power can be met with the solar panels. During some times of the year, you can generate enough power to sell electricity back to your electric company.
People are trying to reduce the prices of solar cells for homes, and they are trying to install backup batteries for the panels so that on cloudy days, homeowners will still receive enough power. This makes it more feasible. Solar panel production has been doubling every 2 years, making it the fastest growing energy technology. In the future, solar energy will probably become very popular and more feasible. The end.